Reports claim that more than 200 protesters have died in Tehran alone as anti-regime unrest sweeps Iran. As of January 10, 2026, Iran is facing one of the most intense waves of protests in decades. What began in late December over economic hardship, plummeting currency values, soaring inflation, and rising costs of living has quickly escalated into nationwide calls for regime change. Demonstrators are no longer just demanding economic relief. Crowds across all 31 provinces, from Tehran to Mashhad, Isfahan, Tabriz, and Shiraz, are openly challenging Supreme Leader Ayatollah Ali Khamenei. Chants of death to the dictator have been heard alongside calls for the return of exiled Crown Prince Reza Pahlavi. Strikes and marches are widespread. Bazaar merchants started the action, but now hundreds of thousands are occupying major roads, blocking highways, and engaging in acts of defiance. Videos emerging from Tehran show fires consuming vehicles, government buildings, and even mosques, including the Al Rasul Mosque in Sadat Abad. The government response has been swift and severe. A nationwide internet blackout began around January 8th through 9th, cutting off communications and slowing the flow of information. Security forces have deployed tear gas and live ammunition against protesters. Casualty reports vary widely. Human rights groups cite at least 45 to 65 deaths since late December, including children. But an anonymous Tehran doctor told Time that at least 217 people have been killed into 6 hospitals across the capital, most from live ammunition. Official Iranian sources, however, deny such high numbers. Thousands have been arrested, and reports indicate that foreign militias, including Iraqi Shia groups, may have been deployed to aid the crackdown. International reactions are heating up. On January 9th, U.S. President Donald Trump warned Iran that the U.S. is watching closely and that violent repression of protesters could provoke direct action.
So Iran's in big trouble. It looks to me that the people are taking over certain cities that nobody thought were really possible just a few weeks ago. We're watching the situation very carefully. I've made the statement very strongly that if they start killing people like they have in the past, we will get involved. We'll be hitting them very hard where it hurts. And that doesn't mean boots on the ground, but it means hitting them very, very hard where it hurts.
In response, Supreme Leader Khamenei called the demonstrators vandals and saboteurs, framing the unrest as a foreign-instigated plot. He vowed that the regime will not tolerate mercenaries working in the interests of foreigners and promised decisive punishment. Iran has also lodged formal protests with the United Nations, condemning Trump's statements as unlawful and warning that the U.S. bears responsibility for any escalation. Despite violent crackdowns, protests continue into January 10th, with opposition forces claiming defiance even in regime strongholds like Mashhad. This wave of unrest marks the most serious challenge to the Islamic Republic in years, echoing past movements like the 2022 Women Life Freedom protests. The situation remains volatile. With communications limited, independent verification is difficult, but the world is watching as Iran faces a defining moment in its modern history.
Subscribe to One India and never miss an update. Download the One India app now.